So today topic is trigonometry after Pythagoras theorem, right? So first thing you guys need to remember that trigonometry applies only in right angle triangle. That is why we had discussed Pythagoras theorem first to know the basics of a right angle triangle, right? Now in a right angle triangle, as we had discussed, that there are three sides in a right angle triangle, and we name that hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent. Now in Pythagoras theorem, there is no difference whether you take opposite or which side you take adjacent, right? It doesn't matter in Pythagoras. So I am going to write no impact in Pythagoras, right? But in trigonometry, sides plays an important role. In trigonometry, sides plays an important role. In Pythagoras, we say that either we take the side adjacent or opposite, it does not matter, because the reason is that the working formula for Pythagoras theorem is opposite square plus adjacent square. So it doesn't matter whether you write 2 square plus 3 square or you write 3 square plus 2 square. The result is the same, right? That is why it does not affect in Pythagoras theorem. But in trigonometry, it matters a lot. So basically, the side that is create a difference between opposite and adjacent, it depends on angle. Depends on angle, right? The side that is opposite to angle. Now I am talking about angle, I am not talking about 90 degree, right? So that means there are two angles in a right angle triangle of trigonometry, right? So let's suppose I label my figure A, B and C. If I say that this angle is X, then with the help of this angle I can say that this side is opposite, right? And the leftover side, as we had discussed in Pythagoras, is our adjacent, right? But if I plot the same triangle again with the same alphabets A, B and C, hypotenuse is always fixed, always opposite to 90 degree. But now if I say that this angle is X, now the opposite side will be opposite to this X. That means in this case AB is opposite and the leftover side is adjacent. Now why these sides are very important to identify correctly? The reason is that in trigonometry now we are going to deal with three basic working formula, and their names are sine, cos and tan. Keep in mind it is sine, not sin. So you need to read it sine angle, whatever the angle is, right? And these functions are incomplete without the angle, right? So in our example, the angle is not 90 degree. Keep in mind we are never ever going to take 90 degree with these functions, right? 90 degree indicates that we can apply these functions in a triangle because it indicates that the triangle is a right angle triangle, right? But the angle we are going to take with these functions is another angle except the 90 degree. So in both of our examples we have angle X. So these functions will be completed with the angles, right? So first thing, trigonometric functions are always or must have the angles with them, right? So first step is clear. Now we talk about what are the working formulas. If we talk about sine theta, so sine says its opposite divided by hypotenuse, right? That is a working formula of sine. Cos says its adjacent divided by hypotenuse, and tan says its opposite divided by adjacent. Now there are three basic working formulas to remember sine, cos and tan. And there is one short trick to remember these three working formulas. We read it SOHCAHTOA. Right? Now how we are going to remember these working formulas with the help of SOHCAHTOA? I am going to highlight only the first letter of each word. Right? The first letter. First letter TOA. Right? Now the first letter, if I am going to write the first one, here it's S, here is O, and this one is H, this one is C, this one is O, and H, the first letter is T, O, and A. Right? So that is our working formula, and we write the same thing here, SOH, SOH. So SO means sine is equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Ka means cos equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse, and toa means tan is equals to opposite divided by adjacent. Right? So that is a little technique to remember these working formulas. I hope that till now you have copied it, right? If not, then copy it right now. So once you have noted it down, you know that in a right angle triangle we have three sides, not like Pythagoras theorem in this case. The sides, the accurate sides are very important, that which side is opposite and which side is hypotenuse, because these sides we are going to apply in these working formulas. Now, second thing, how we are going to apply these working formulas, how we are going to find out that whether we need to apply sine, whether we need to apply cos or tan. How did we know this? Right? So the answer to this question, it depends on question. Which working formula you are going to apply, it depends on question. Example. Let's suppose I have a question, a very basic right angle triangle. This side is 5, angle is 30, and this side is x. Before starting the question, I am telling you the most important point here, so listen carefully. Before starting the question, always make data. Data will help you understand which working formula you need to apply. How? Just see. Wait and watch. Now, if I am going to make data, data means whatever we know and whatever we don't know, we just need to write it down here. So first thing, 5. Now 5 is basically hypotenuse, and how did we know? Because it faces the 90 degree. So first thing, we have hypotenuse, and that is equals to 5. The next angle, theta. Theta basically represents angle. You can write angle as well if it is comfortable for you. Both are right. Angle is given, that is 30 degree, right? And the x basically which side? Is it opposite or is it adjacent? If you ever confused in this, remember, x is facing the angle and the side facing the angle is basically your opposite. Right? After the completion of data, what you guys need to do, just write these two starting letters, O, H and O. So So I am going to write O and H. Now, in your working formulas, where you can find O and H? In tan we have O and A, not suitable for this question. In cos we have A and H, not suitable. In sine we have O and H, suitable, tick mark, right? So that how we apply, we find out that we need to apply sine in this question, right? So that is very simple but very effective technique to build a strong foundation of trigonometry, right? So now I know that I am going to apply sine here. So at your starting stage, I recommend you to write the working formula again and again. So formula says sine x represents angle, or I can say that theta, because I take theta as an angle and x as an unknown. So sine theta is equals to, working formula says opposite divided by hypotenuse, right? So sine angle is 30 is equals to opposite is what? X, and hypotenuse is what? It's y. Now don't worry about the sine 30, right? You can find its value easily by using calculator. Now take out your scientific calculators. In your calculators you can see there are buttons in which you can see sine is imprinted, right? Press the sine button. When you press the sine button on your calculator screen, you will see that it is written sine and the bracket is open, right? Now you need to write your angle, and in this case our angle is 30, so it's sine 30. Close the bracket and press equals to. When you do that, calculator will gives you the value of 0.5, or you can say that 1/2, right? So that's how we find the value of trigonometric functions from the calculator. So now the value of sine 30, we know that it's 1 divided by 2 is equals to x divided by 5, right? Simple algebra, we need to find the value of x. So x is equals to 5 divided by 2, or you can say that it's 2.5, right? So that's how we find the value of unknown by using trigonometric ratio. More examples we are going to cover. First, you need to do it by yourself, right? Then I will explain it. 8x 50. You need to find the value of x, right? So first, stop the video, try it by yourself, right? Keep in mind that the first step to solve any question of trigonometry at this starting stage is you need to find out, or you need to plot the data. Now in data, what we know, 8 is what? 8 is your hypotenuse. If you identify this side, it is very good. You have done step number 1, right? Step number 2, angle. Angle is 50. 2 steps completed, or you can say 2 most important steps you had already done. And the last important step is to identify your side. Now the x is what? Is it adjacent or opposite? If you identify this side correctly, then trust me, 50% of the topic had been covered, right? So the x is basically your adjacent, not your opposite, because opposite is what? Opposite to the angle, that is this. So this side is opposite and the leftover is your adjacent. So that is your first step. It has a great weightage. If you did that right, then you are on the right and you are on the fast track. It is very good. After the completion of data, what you guys need to do, just write these 2 alphabets together, A and H. Now come back where you write your formulas and identify where we have A and H. OH, no. OH, sorry, it's AH. Cos is adjacent hypotenuse, right? AH. So AH, no. OA, we have find out, right? We are looking for AH, right? So adjacent and hypotenuse is cos. So we need to apply cos here, A and H. So both is available in cos, but after cos, what makes the function complete is its angle. So the angle of cos is 50 is equals to adjacent is what? It's x, and hypotenuse is what? It's 8. Now again the same question, what is cos 50? No need to worry about, your calculator gives you this answer. So cos 50, first thing what you guys need to do, this is your calculator screen, right? So first thing you guys need to do, press the cos button. When you press the cos button on your screen, it will be cos with the bracket open. Now you need to write the angle 50, close the bracket, press equals to. And when you do that, calculator gives you the value of 0.642. 0.642. Right? So instead of cos 50, I am going to write 0.642 is equals to x divided by 8. Now we all know that to find the value of x, we need to shift 8 on the left side. 8 is dividing with the x on the right side, so when we shift on the left side, it will be multiplied with 0.642 is equals to x. So 8 multiplied by 0.642 gives you the value of 5.136. That is your answer, right? So what we are doing in such questions, first thing we are making, I'm going to write down the steps for you guys. What we are doing, first step, we are making data, right? After data, identify sine, cos, tan. And after the completion of data, you guys need to highlight which working formula you are going to use and why, right? After the identification, apply your working formula and calculate the value of unknown. Now that is a sort of flow chart to solve questions of trigonometry or basics trigonometry, right? I highlighted it so that it imprinted on your mind that how you are going to solve the questions of trigonometry, any question. Another example. Now I am going to change the orientation of the right angle triangle. I gave you the question. What you guys need to do, first step, you need to plot the data. Data means you need to highlight the sides and angle. So angle is 30, that is the easiest one, that is why I pick it first. After that you need to highlight which side is x. X is basically facing 90 degree, and the side that facing 90 degree is basically your, very good, hypotenuse. So you know the value of hypotenuse, and the side that faces your angle is basically your opposite, right? And opposite is 6, right? After the data, what you guys need to do, just write the sides that we know, it's O and H. So So I am going to write the working formulas here. It's SOHCAHTOA, and I recommend you all to write these 3 working formulas at the top of your page, every page, so that you can learn it, remember it easily, right? Now we are going to target O and H. O and H is in sine, right? That means we need to apply sine here. So I am going to apply sine. Angle is theta is equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Keep in mind that I cannot write sine x because x is hypotenuse, right? Now sine theta is 30, opposite is 6, and h is unknown, that is x. Again for sine 30, you guys need to do the same. On your calculator, press sine button and then press 30 and then equals to. Make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. On the top of your calculator, you will see a small d is present. D represents degree mode, right? So make sure that calculators are in degree mode. Now sine 30, you can find out it's 1 divided by 2 is equals to 6 divided by x. If you cross multiply, it will be x is equals to 12, and that is your answer. Right? Now, if I need to add in the same question, I say that let's suppose this value is y. You need to find the value of y. Now it is a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, 2 sides are known, 6 and x. So you can find out third side by using Pythagoras as well, right? So if we apply Pythagoras in the same question, it will be x is what? 12 square is equals to 6 square plus y square. 12 square is 144 is equals to 6 square 36 plus y square, right? Now you need to subtract 36 from 144. It will be 108, and then you need to find out the under root of 108, so its value is 10.4, right? So that's how the question comes in exam. You need to find both of the sides, or maybe one side, it depends on the question, right? Moving forward to the next example. Whenever I gave you example, keep in mind that first you need to stop the video, try it by yourself, and then see its solution. Now this side is x, this side is y, and that angle is 45 degree, right? So what you guys need to do, stop the video and try it by yourself first. So the first step is to make data. Now in our question, angle is 45 degree, hypotenuse is blank, no side at hypotenuse, so no need to write it down. The side opposite to angle is basically our opposite, right? So opposite is y, and the leftover, that is adjacent, is 6. Now O and A, again writing down the function sine cos tan. O and A comes where? Sine says opposite hypotenuse, cos says adjacent hypotenuse, and tan says opposite adjacent. So we have find out that opposite and adjacent comes in 10. That's why we need to apply 10 here. Now 10, angle is what? Angle is 45. Opposite divided by adjacent, that is a general working formula. Opposite in our case is y and adjacent is 6. Value of 1045, again on your calculator you will see a button on which TAN is written. You need to press 10 on your screen. It will be 10 with the open bracket, and now you need to write 45 degrees, right? It is equals to 1. So instead of 1045, I am going to write 1, implies that y is equals to 6, and that is your answer, right? I hope that all of you now have an idea, right? Trust me, if you got 20 to 30% till now, it is very good. You can do a lot better, and you have made a strong foundation in your mind regarding the topic trigonometry, so it will help you to increase your speed now, right? So I'm going to give you another example. I hope that all of you now will able to solve this question correctly. So you need to stop the video when I give you the question and then solve it by yourself. So it's 90 degree, right? And this side is 8, this side is 10, not 10, this side is 8, and this angle is 40. You need to find the value of x and you need to find the value of y. Now at this point, stop the video, solve this question by yourself. First thing, I am going to make data. In my data, I know the angle, that is 40 degree, right? I know that hypotenuse is equals to x. I know that opposite is equals to y, and the leftover adjacent is equals to 8. Now the question, how we are going to solve it? Up till now we were solving right angle triangles with only one variable. Now there are two variables, so it does not matter. What is the key point? Take one unknown at a time. So you need to consider only one unknown at a time. So if I rewrite the data, it will be theta 40, hypotenuse x, and adjacent is equals to 8. Now if I pick one unknown hypotenuse, so I need to avoid the another unknown. First I will find x. With the help of x I can find y. So that is a short technique to find two unknown in one question, right? So take one unknown at a time. I have taken it. Now again back to our routine practice. We have a and h. In which working formula we have a and h? So it's cos, right? So that's why we need to apply cos here. Cos angle is equals to a over h. Now substituting the values, cos angle is given, that is 40 degree. Adjacent is 8 and hypotenuse is x. Before finding this cos 40, make x the subject of equation. So what you guys need to do, swap these two places. X will comes at the position of cos 40 and cos 40 will take the position of x, right? Now you need to find the value of cos 40. The same method, on your calculator press the cos button and then 40 and then equals to, it is equals to 0.766, that is basically x. Now you need to divide it by 8, so 8 divided by 0.766 gives you the value of 10.44. That is your answer, right? If you have done this part correctly, then I congratulate you. You have done approximately 60% of the topic covered, right? So I hope that this topic isn't very difficult for you guys, and now you have a better understanding where we need to apply sine, cos and tan. At the start of the lecture I have told you that it depends entirely on your question. right? So moving forward, after we find the value of x, now I am going to pick y. Again I am going to plot the data. So theta is known, that is 40. Y is unknown, that is opposite, and the side is known, that it's adjacent. Now if the question comes in your mind that why we are not applying Pythagoras, because it is a right angle triangle and we know the value of 8, we have the value of x, we can easily apply Pythagoras. And trust me, you are thinking absolutely right, you can apply Pythagoras, right? You can apply it. But my question is, let's suppose in exam your x value is not correct, right? It happens, right? There may be a silly mistake, you know how to do that, but unfortunately you have made a mistake in your exam. Now if the value of x is wrong, and with the help of this value you are going to find the value of y, will it give you the right answer? Of course not, right? That's why on the safe side I am not using this value x until and unless I have another option. So that is why I am not going to use this value, but we will counter check our answer with Pythagoras theorem as well, right? So starting this question, O and A. O and A comes in 10. So tan theta is equals to opposite divided by adjacent, right? Now substituting values, tan, angle is 40, opposite is y, and adjacent is 8. We need to find the value of tan 40. Same method, on your calculator press 10 and then 40, it gives you value of 0.839. So I will take 0.84 by rounding off, is equals to y divided by 8. Simply I am going to multiply 8 with 0.84 and gives us the value of 6.72, right? Now if we attempt the same question by Pythagoras, so that is our triangle, right? This angle x, it's 8, value of x is 10.44, and we are going to find the value of y. So Pythagoras says hypotenuse square, that means 10.44 square is equals to 8 square plus y square, right? So 10.44 square is 108.9, so I am going to take 109. 8 square is 64 plus y square. I am solving just right here. So it will be 109 minus 64, it's 45, is equals to y square, and root of 45, it's 6.70 or 71. Right? Now you see that both answers are verified, both answers are correct, but I gave you a very valid reason why you should not adopt this method and will go for this method. The reason is that if your x value is wrong somehow, then it will give you wrong value of y. So if suppose that this question has 2 marks and this question comprises on 2 marks, if you attempted this one wrong, then it will give you 2 marks. But if you use the from answer of this part into this part, then it will deduct, it will give you only 1 mark, right? You won't get 2 marks. So try to avoid this method, always opt this method until and unless you have option, right? So that is enough for today, and I am going to give you a homework. Your homework is, it's exercise 9.3 of your new book Cambridge. You need to do question number 1 of that exercise, right? It has 6 parts, but all are very simple parts. I hope that all of you can do it correctly, and inshallah next class we are going to start that how we find the angle in trigonometry with the help of sides. right? So you need to practice today's lecture a lot, so it will build a good concept in your mind, right? So see you in next class. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.